we are back with the third match of the night. This is a big one. This is probably my dark horse for best match of the night. This is a match that really almost didn't happen because we were supposed to have another competitor for our MERAK. But then a few complications come in. You know how it is. Independent wrestling can be a bit of a pain. And, you know, obviously no shade towards this other competitor. There were some technical difficulties and it was no one's fault. But Yoichi, this man right here is absolutely a worthy replacement. And he has had himself a year. The 31-year-old has spent most of his time in pro wrestling Noah, but he's been all over the Japanese wrestling scene. He's been active in All Japan Pro Wrestling. He's been active in EJW, 01, Dragon Gate, you name it. He's made an apparition, I believe, also in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Well, yeah, of course. Wait, of course he has. He's right. He's worked Wrestle Kingdom, for God's sake. And we are very, 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 very lucky to have him here. He's been having a great year, let me tell you that. And I believe that he's going to go into 2024 with even more matches in Europe. And if he ever feels like coming back, let me tell you, the doors are open. We are absolutely grateful for him going up. And let me tell you, this is a big mountain for this man right here who always asks if it's okay to be let in a very sarcastic manner, might I add. This is MERAK, and for those of you who don't know him, who might have not seen our other shows, he's a bit of a character. As you can see, he is picked up straight from the roads of the nowhere lands of Italy. He's just a character, man. And let me tell you, he is loved around here. He's made himself known over the past 2 years to this squash jobber crowd. Been endearing this northern Italian crowd just as much as he is able to convince the crowds in Tuscany, and he is an absolute renegade. But this man on the other side of the ring, Yoichi, might be his toughest challenge yet. Merrick comes from a 2023 where he completed an incredible feud with Sebastian DeWitt, who Yoichi knows, if anything else, because Sebastian has spent the last part of this 2023 in Japan. And look at the crowd. They're into it. They're ready for some good wrestling. We witnessed a great rivalry between MERAK, this man right here, and Sebastian DeWitt. And now this is supposed to be proving ground. And oh, wow. Oh, you do not do that with Yoichi. That is a big, beefy dude. More experience on the side of Yoichi, more size on the side of Yoichi. I'd go as far as to say that Yoichi is also a better technical wrestler. But you cannot count MERAK out. He is simply unkillable. His skin is made of rhinestone, man. Let me tell you, you cannot put down MERAK. I guess the best way to describe it is how another much more famous competitor used to put it. Beat me if you can, survive if I let you. It is differently interpretable for MERAK, but I believe the message is there. He will keep fighting as far as he is able to breathe. But let's get to the match. Yoichi now controlling MERAK's wrist, simple wrist lock, now moving up to the shoulder. Two competitors facing off, right in the middle of the ring, but now MERAK looking for those ropes, probably gauging how actually strong is Yoichi. I don't believe that, MERAK not the biggest reader, but I know that he has looked up Yoichi. I know that he knows how strong Yoichi is, how devastating his moves can be. But you gotta feel it out in the ring, man. You gotta figure it out in real life, one-on-one, mano-a-mano. There is just no other way to truly accurately assess, and I believe Merrick is finding that out. And that might not be the smartest decision on the side of this young man to slap the wide chest of Yoichi. That is a big boy. There is some beef. Merrick can hit with the sting, let me tell you. I think he could be a bit out of his depth. I don't know if this is the strategy you're gonna go with. Big chop. Yoichi is just eating it for now. Yoichi is probably, you know, I know that Merrick knows about Yoichi, but I don't know how much Yoichi knows about Merrick, so... What? Oh, what's this? Loading up. He's getting ready, pumping himself up. He knows. He knows. He knows how hard Yoichi can hit. And Merrick's down. Down goes Merrick. Down goes Merrick. 1, 2, and he goes for the rope. Already going for those ropes, man. Yoichi packs a punch. And I know that, as I was saying, you know, Merrick obviously has looked up Yoichi, but I believe Yoichi is going to have a lot of discovering to do in this here match. I mean, probably has done his own research. My goodness, those chops. But this is a lot of it's going to be new for him, I believe. Now looking for some of that crowd support. This crowd loves all of these folks that we fly in, all of these wrestlers that we call in, from European federations, from Japanese federations, and now Yoichi just lighting Merrick up. Now Yoichi, this is interesting because he has, look at the stance, he has a background in sumo and now the big charge, but he eats a mouthful of ring post, and Merrick now on the offensive. As I was saying, Yoichi has two backgrounds. Before wrestling, it's sumo, as we have just seen, and other major influences judo, but we still haven't seen him apply those judo-inspired throws yet. We're probably going to see them further into the match. But, you know, Merrick, his experiences hustles outside of punk rock concerts, so there's a heterodoxy to this dude, and let's see how that. Well, let's see how these two and three styles mesh in this competition. Now the action being brought back into the ring. Just a 2 count for Merrick. But he stays on Yoichi, working those big arms, and you can see you gotta use both arms just to even have the smallest effect on Yoichi's single arm. Going for that left arm. Yoichi attempting to power out. We've seen this power in many predicaments, both during the N1 tournament this year, but as well as when he beat in progress when he fought a familiar acquaintance of Squash Jobber, who is Shigehiro Irie. He's been spending a lot of time in Europe. And now a cross chop from Yoichi is worth just for a 1 count. Merrick kicks out. It's pretty evenly divided. Yoichi is feeling it now, definitely dominating this less experienced opponent. Going for a back suplex, maybe no, reverse atomic drop. Keeps control. Another atomic drop. Will we make it 3? And that's a back suplex. Baiting Merrick probably into preparing for that inverted atomic drop. But the back suplex that concluded the combination is worth only for a 2 count. Ref mat, keeping an eye on the action, attentive as always. Now looking for a tap. The half crab is locked in from Yoichi. Very traditional style, very solid fundamentals we've seen with the inverted atomic drops and the back suplex and now the half crab. These Japanese competitors, for those of you watching, I believe that you may be familiar in the dojos, whether they be the Noah dojos, the New Japan dojos. Of course, there are differences, but there is such an emphasis put on fundamentals, and we can see that with all the competitors that have come from Japan that have tested their fortunes here in Squash Jobber and other federations around Italy. I think about Yodatsuji, I think about Irie. All these guys, both of these guys, I should say, have exhibited very solid fundamentals, and they tend to conserve them even further in their career. Now, a big splash into the corner for Yoichi, who is definitely in control, but Merrick, single leg drop kick, creating some distance. A lariat isn't enough to send Yoichi down. Big boot! And now finally the giant goes down. Hooks the leg. Not enough. Too lackadaisious of a cover to get the victory this time. And now applying pressure to the left arm. And a stomp. Merrick, I don't know if he still has time to put that work in, you know, if he has time to dedicate himself to this phase of the match, because as we've seen, you know, things have been moving now, and I think that opportunity was taken away from you when Yoichi gained some control, but Merrick now trying to establish some kind of offensive, keeping those arms separate. This is taking quite the toll on Merrick as well. It's an extremely expensive move, hold, you know, this one in terms of fatigue, especially with a big man like Yoichi. Now the strikes of Yoichi to the midsection of Merrick, and now the roll-up, not enough. Just a 2 count, and a forearm smash to the side of the head of Yoichi. 1, 2, not enough. Solo due, as Ref Matt so often says. You can learn some Italian with this. And that is his signature call to the crowd. It's Merrick time. But the leg drop doesn't end well for him. Yoichi now attempting to regain control of the match. Eats another forearm to the side and a big thrust straight to the chest of Merrick. Knocked the wind out of him. My God, the power of Yoichi. Big elbow straight to the face. Ripcord elbow, but that's only worth a 2 count. My God. You can't get Yoichi going. You can't get Yoichi going, and I think Merrick may have lost his opportunity. Now a variant possibly on a Uranagi slam, that might be. And Merrick going for sort of an like a type of cravat, a headlock, trying to understand what he's trying to do. It almost looked like he was fighting him, but he's now thrust into the corner, eating the padded ring post with the back of his head and a clock to the back. That'll knock a man down. I don't know. I don't care how tough you are. Some of these strikes are enough to make grown men cry. And a knee lift from Merrick to create distance. And a discus clothesline from Merrick. Just a 2 count. Just a 2 count. I thought he knocked him out. Back into that. I'd imagine now it's a modified sleeper hold, a choke hold. He's wrapping his arm around the back of the head of Yoichi, trying to grapevine those legs around the lower torso of Yoichi, and it seems like Yoichi is fading. This might work. Submission hold locked in. And now it's Merak having to gain composure because Yoichi is back to his feet. He's deadlifting Merrick. He's deadlifting him. Now Merrick having to work out how the tables turn. This started as a submission move from Merrick, and now it's Merrick having to break the bear hug of Yoichi, and he manages to do just that. Forearm to the side of the head, rocks Yoichi, but doesn't send him down. Finds equilibrium. Loaded up for a modified spine buster. Yoichi only gets a 2 count, but he's fired up. He is fired up. And a Uranagi slam. That may be enough. It is. Merrick, what a valiant effort. But Yoichi manages to come away with the win, and the crowd giving a standing ovation. The first one of the night. Always very appreciative is our Chizake crowd for these stars who come from the other side of the world, and Yoichi acknowledging Merrick. Merrick was supposed to take on Joey Janela. Had a little time to prepare. Now both competitors bowing to one another, and Yoichi is crowned the victor of this contest.